Okay, I thought I would just do a little follow-up to my non-problem video the other day and just have a little update on the Amazon situation and the unboxing. So, um, the failed delivery was yesterday, October 29th, and they didn't have any email option for requesting redelivery at a certain time, but there was a number I could call. Their business hours, started at 9, and since I work, in the early afternoon until the late evening, I don't work in the mornings. I wake up later than a normal worker, and I leave my home later than a normal worker. Then I work the same amount of time. There we go, as a normal worker, but everything's just shifted, a few hours later than a normal worker would work. I come home later, I eat dinner later, I go to bed later. It's just shifted. So mornings are fine if they want to deliver it. So what happened this morning was around 8:30, still in bed. That's not when I get up, but the doorbell rang, went to the doorbell, and it was the second part of my order, the movies I ordered, and they came. And they always bring them in the morning pretty early, before 9 generally, so great. And I should have gotten them on the 31st, but I got them on the 30th right away in the morning, so they were ready to go. And I ordered Amazon X-Men Days of Future Past. Not because I was impressed with the reboot with X-Men First Class or anything, but I am a bit of a completionist and I like the X-Men. I want to support this, and I really think they mishandled these properties, and I hope they go back to Marvel so Marvel can do a better job with them. But yeah, I just don't think they handled this well. They wanted to reboot it with First Class, but they threw Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in there just as a little wink to the fans, but they retooled the story a bit because it was supposed to be a reboot. And then they went and did this, which incorporated the original cast in it, which muddled the whole thing. And even Bryan Singer went on and said, yeah, we screwed up. And basically this movie, because it's connected to the original trilogy, which the third one was horrible, he said, because this is connected to the original trilogy, this resets the timeline, so just forget big chunks of the original trilogy altogether. Forget the first 2 Wolverine movies altogether. None of those actually happened. All of this is kind of reset from the 70s, and however it played out would be different. Okay. And then they've got the third part, which should wrap up this new rebooted trilogy, which they didn't have planned from the start. X-Men Age of Apocalypse, or Apocalypse, I forget what they're calling it, sometime in the next couple of years. But I got that. I'm going to give it a watch. I also got The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug. I didn't want to wait for the extended, super boring, ultra long, more boring than normal, December edition of this, because I wasn't a big fan of the first one, but again, being a completionist, I want to give this a look. I've lost tons of respect for Peter Jackson ever since he had the very indulgent King Kong, and totally missing the point and dropping the ball with Lovely Bones. Very disappointing. The first Hobbit, this should have been a film, possibly 2, but stretching it out to 3, adding a bunch of characters, throwing in a love triangle, stuff like that. No, Peter, no. But I got this one for, both of these were like $17 or less, because they're not that new. And I also got Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat. I think the Japanese title, All You Need Is Kill, which sounds like All You Need Is Skill, but Kill is separate. That's a much cooler title. I wish they'd kept that, but Edge of Tomorrow sounds like a soap. Anyway, I got this one, and I've heard good things about this. Unfortunately, it did very poorly at the domestic box office because of Tom Cruise's unpopularity. But I heard it's a good story, well made, a bit of a plot hole towards the end, but I'm going to give it a watch. There's my 3 movies ready to go. And the interesting thing is my thermal take Dr. Power 2 Universal ATX power supply tester. So this little baby in here is what I'm going to use when I sit down on the weekend. You plug your 24 pin in there, you plug your motherboard power in there, your SATA, your other things there, and then you just go clicking the side button and it tests them all to see if the power supply unit is producing power as it's supposed to. It'll tell you the power levels and whatnot, and if anything's wrong with my power supply unit, I'll know it after using this. And if the power supply unit checks out and that's not what's causing the problem, then I've got to replace the CMOS battery and see if that was the problem. And if that's not the problem, it's probably something wrong with the motherboard itself. You know, it might be something even as simple as the pins on the connection from the case to the motherboard for the power button are failing. So when I click the power button, it's not registering anything. But that wouldn't explain why there's no motherboard light, or why the graphics card, the green light should always be on. It's not on. So that tells me that something's not getting power. So I'm pretty sure it's the power supply unit, and that'll be sorted out. I'm going to spend some time on Sunday trying to figure that out. But chances are, when I take it out of the closet where it's been for a couple of weeks and connect the power and flip the main switch and push that on button, it'll restart like it did when this happened for a few hours about a month and a half ago. And if that's the case, I'll just re-establish it where it's been as my workstation and gaming station and wait for the next failure. And next time it fails, I'll try the PSU, see if that's the reason. I'm looking at something on the wall. I should be looking at the camera. But anyway, that's my little unboxing and my non-problem update. Thank you for watching. Sorry if it was a bit boring. Probably was. Don't matter. Anyway, gonna watch some movies. Talk to you another time. Bye-bye.